shine with me, align with me, authentically true. Bloom into you.
Hey guys, Jamie Wozni here again with my incredible friend and mentor in human design and guide and all the things, Kayla O'Connor. I will let her introduce herself in a second, but in case you're new to me, I am a modern day seer,
Mm.
which is another word for intuitive, and priestess. I assist in bringing higher messages from source and higher self down, channeling it to you so that you can be supported in living your most abundant, easy, flowy, empowered life. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited to get into today's topic. But
Mm.
before we begin, Miss Kayla,
Oh
introduce
gosh.
yourself.
I'm Kayla O'Connor. O'Connor because Jamie married me. Let's start there.
I did.
But gosh, I'm a lot of things like Jamie is. I also consider myself a seer. I also consider myself a shocker. I
Mm.
live very differently, but like in an invited shock way. But I'm not afraid to um, go take a left when everyone's turning right, and I apply that within my PR agency business that I founded 4 years ago, and also by using human design, that kind of set me free. And I now dedicate a lot of my work to helping others feel set free from conditioning, what they see are the shoulds, so that we can all feel our best in life.
Yeah, amen. I love that word free. I hear that a lot in my world, freedom, liberation,
Hmm.
Well, I'm excited for us to chat. And, Kayla and I are soon going to lead an 8-week journey into human design, supporting others to really align, succeed with ease, succeed with flow. We're going to really get into it. But the reason for this conversation is to really, for us, because I know my life, I'm fascinated by human design. My life has changed from it dramatically. I know Kayla, hers has too. So we just wanted to have this beautiful conversation for you to listen in and gain some value and some nuggets about
What do you do differently now
what do what
since
do
you
I do?
found him? Yeah.
Oh, joy has become my Bible.
Mm.
Joy has become my church. Joy has become my worship. Um, I devote, I honor the holiness, the sacredness of my heart.
Mm.
And understanding that a generator, which is my energy type, really joy is my compass, that feeling of like, I am drawn towards this. This is my passion. This lights me up. Growing up innocently, I always say that word, but innocently having a lot of women in the wounded masculine paradigm, um, work, go, do, think, analyze. And again, healthy masculine's lovely. We have to be in
Mhm.
balance, all of us. uh, I did not know to worship joy. It was, what's going to make you the most money, what makes sense, what's responsible. Um, Listening to fear too, a lot. Which is interesting because I know that's my motivation too, but
Mhm.
in human design. And it has taken me a lot of years because this way is an experiment and an exploration to understand. And I just gave an Insight Timer live talk on this, that joy is it's so valuable. It is to be trusted, it is safe, and it is to be balanced with the healthy masculine of like, okay, now I'm going to take this thing that gave me excitement and film a YouTube thing or create a sales page or
Mhm.
whatever it may be. But my God, um I make it a way of life now.
Mhm. And to trust joy, I love that. To trust joy is also to trust that what brings you joy might change,
That's
and
it.
what brings you joy might be promoted as not right or good in a certain industry, but it's a feeling that you know so intimately within yourself, and that's where you trust it, and that's where you can kind of quiet the outside noise of what you should do or should not do, and
Yeah.
you just live in the present of what's my joy leading me to today.
Today, yeah. And it's so interesting because and this is the exploration I'm in too. Bridging, because as a generator, we do something called responding, and it's like based on what already exists in the human network, that feeling that comes up. And so I listen now. I've become an observer. So this is also another way of life. Instead of just being in conversation with people, and I am, right? It's not like it's at the like forefront of my mind, but it's here. I clock when people are asking me things over and over again. I
Mhm.
clock, somebody the other day, do you have a teacher training? I'm like, okay, clocking that. Um, people asking me a lot about animals, clocking that. So I notice what the human network's asking me, and then not just going forward because God, if we have the codependent upbringing, okay, what do people need me for? How do I get that
Yes.
hit of savior? It was like, okay, based on that, what of that most excites me? Two.
Mhm.
And then that's where the generator has the energy to generate. Um, and the courage to be like, I don't know if any of these are super exciting me right now. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not the thing, or maybe the thing hasn't come along, or maybe
Yeah.
I try it out and see if I get excited by it. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I love that. Yeah, the energy types, generator, manifesting generator, joy is like massive. And I would say like the energy types are a cell phone plugged into a charger, but what connects the charger into the wall outlet is your joy.
Yeah.
So you're not guaranteed energy. You could do all the things that burn you out. You could be susceptible to and that actually happens a lot with energy types is they do everything because they feel like they have the energy to do everything and they're not really paying attention to what do they really love doing.
Yeah. And I talk about that in my book. Like that's the first chapter is what do you want?
Mhm.
Because and I remember having this conversation with my mom, and many women and men, but just women who I work with of like, Jamie, I've literally never sat down to write a list of like what brings me joy or what's my passion because that isn't something we do. And I mean, how cool would it be if we're all in fifth grade and we had a lesson where we were like, what brings us joy? And kiddo,
Mhm.
that's money in the bank. That's precious. That's sacred. That's a thing.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm constantly checking in and going like I love what you said too. Has this changed? Because I was an actress for 10 years and
Mhm.
then I'm in healing for 10 years. It stopped bringing me joy somewhere along the line, and that's okay too because that's not the human network didn't need me in that way anymore.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's seeing myself and trusting myself.
mm,
And as a projector, we see others, we amplify the beauty of others. It literally a projector is something that like shines an image
mm,
onto, it's this bright light. But when one looks into a projector, it's hard to see the actual projector box because of the light. So it I remember asking if I had any decision to make in life, what to do, what should I do, what school do I go to, should I break up with this person? I would ask everyone
yeah,
but myself. I would call people, I'd get their opinion, and it was out of lack of seeing myself as a trustworthy person or a wise human or someone that makes good
mm,
decisions, but also a level of it felt good when others feel good by me taking their advice.
yeah,
And that was huge of kind of eliminating the like, I got me. I got me and I don't need others. I'm not codependent on others to make the best decision for me.
yeah,
Um, and that's really helped me live and craft a life, like a daily life that if someone like shadowed me at work, they'd be like, it's nap time. I'm like, yep, it's nap time. Like, are we back in kindergarten? Yeah, we are.
Fuck yeah. Like it is, it's that self-honoring to get like, this is the projector way, this is what I need, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
honor it because no one's gonna do that for me.
Yeah. And then I'll wake up from nap and I'll probably accomplish what could take someone 3 hours in an hour.
It's just nap time. Oh, that's so sweet. What if we had like you knew what you were when you were little and all the projectors took the naps, all the generators jumped on the trampoline? Like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
wow. And this is making so much sense because you know what I did the other day? And I'm sharing this. I love sharing vulnerably to give other people permission.
Yeah.
So it was recently my birthday, and we had these big towel things, like beach towels, but like we took them to the park. Anyway, we came home and was like, I need to put those in the laundry. But when I was a kid, I would set up these, and I'm sure many of us did this, these like forts in front of the
Oh,
TV,
yeah.
like blankets and pillows. I just turned 41, and I haven't done this since I was a kid, but I saw those and I was like, I want to set up a fort in
Hell
front of the
yeah.
TV. I don't want to lay on the couch. I want
The
to lay.
most cave thing you could
Yeah,
ever do.
I know. Well, also part of my human design. Now, I'll tell you guys, I could have easily, my partner was taking a nap. It was late. I could have easily gone, what, like, why? That's so
Right.
silly and trivial. But I could feel that that was so joyful for me. And I know how precious it is because as a generator, it's your aura and it's your energy that is healing for others and magnetizes opportunities to you. So when I
Mhm.
understand that if something comes into my awareness that's going to bring me joy, it is so valuable because it's going
Mhm.
to bring, maybe not in that moment, but it's going to amplify the light bulb that I am to bring things in. So I had the best time. I got myself pillows and this. I'm like this close to the TV. I was just like having a fucking party.
Love it.
So, but would I have known to honor that? Like you were honoring nap time, I was honoring joy time.
Mhm.
Probably not. And like, oh God, this is also the feminine. And then I'll go back because I'm so passionate about this. But um, the feminine does things for the act of doing them because it's
Mm.
therapeutic, because it feels good, because you see yourself. The masculine does things, neither right or wrong, for an accomplishment, for an action to further. And our
Mhm.
world is void of, I'm going to nap to feel good. I'm going to nap to see myself. I'm going to
Yeah.
create this fort to have a moment of joy. The masculine goes, what's the point in that? There's shit to be done. I could just lay on the couch.
Yeah.
And so it's also okay if it's not for a reason. And and like life becomes, I love this word enchanting, and I know you love that word too, but
Mhm.
filled with joy again or life again. And what a precious energetic experience that you can give yourself that you're like trying to find in the world, but it came from a nap and a fort.
Yeah. There's a level of like not anticipating uncomfortable, hard stuff that we don't have control over too.
Mm,
I think there's when we know, I kind of say like energy traits, like we have our personality traits, it's like our energy traits. Like
mm,
how does our energy express itself kind of?
yeah.
And what's a good like match for it almost. I think all the time, my wife actually helped me do this, but whenever I would visit my family, I thought I had to stay with them. There were all these like shoulds and whys of like, well, a hotel's really expensive. Oh, well, I should stay with them. Or I never honored like how grounding it is to book a hotel, go to my family's house, spend some time together, come back, maybe take a nap
Yep.
or end the day in your own space, not
Yeah.
having to be on 24/7. And if that's a jolt to the system, to my family, it's just clearly communicating and setting expectations and not making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Then, like, visits are so much more pleasant. I'm able to be more present. I'm able to, when I feel a little like drained, I have my
Yeah.
own space. It's
Yeah.
like, and that applies like every single day in little things.
And understanding yourself better as a projector and what you need in your own space lets you have the wherewithal to go, you know what, to honor my design, my energy better. This is what I need to do,
Hmm.
you know.
Ooh, and when you said seer, I resonate with that a
You
lot.
guys are the projectors or the seers.
Well, it's seeing until we're invited
Yes.
around people. So saving what I have to share for my own channels, my own clients, or my own, whether it's here or Instagram, just sharing what I see. But if I'm sitting, I don't know why family gatherings, I guess it's the holiday. When I'm at
Sure.
like
Yeah.
holiday, whatnot, I've learned to just see, witness,
Mm,
and even though I may notice something or be like, no, 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 like do this or whatnot, I do not waste my time or breath unless I'm invited.
that's it. That's it. That's for you guys. That's huge.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I know there's so many benefits. Like it goes on and on. And I know I wanted to ask you about this too. You did a beautiful poem. And we could also like put the poem in the, do you have it written
Yeah.
down? I was gonna say we could put
Yeah.
that in the description below too to share. But on Instagram, and it was called or we could link
You're,
to it. It was called Your Way, right?
mhm.
And I just like share about that a little bit, like, and I love that too because human design really does help you live life your way, and so that you can succeed and not burn out and have life
Yeah.
easier and in flow, like all of these words, we try to articulate it down into one thing and we will, but it is all of these things, and it can sound fantastical, but it to me it isn't. It's like it does get easier. You are in more flow, there is more abundance because when you are in your true nature, well, those are byproducts of being in your true nature. So tell me a little
Yeah.
bit more about that.
Oh, it's a perfect example of me in my unique human design. And this is a little bit more advanced of I have ahas. I have things that just kind of pop in. I don't pressure myself to, oh, I'm going to set on Tuesday in this hour, I'm going to create a piece of content to share my human design journey with everyone.
Mm,
I surrender and I release the need of knowing how or when. And when I have something, it is so, like, it's again so efficient. So this morning,
mm,
I kept, actually last night before I went to bed, I kept hearing like your way, your way, your way. I'm like, okay. And this morning, I got like kind of like this urge to go into my basement, which I never do. And that's like my workout area and kind of meditation area. And then it's like this, I'm splenic authority, which is very instinctual.
yeah.
It's very like whisper. And it's like, right. I'm like, okay, all right. And I literally wrote down that poem in 2 minutes. And then I got on and it was all around. I never really know where the poem's gonna go. It just literally channels through me. But
Mhm.
when I think about the phrase your way, I think about growing up, and my memory of that phrase is so wrong and selfish.
Mm,
And it's the opposite of that. It's viewing it in a positive viewpoint of you have your own special way that should be honored. You are a unique
mm,
individual. And it's funny because I always have a shift, a turn in my poems, and it was like, here's the kicker. It's not going to be accepted, or it may trigger da 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 da. And it's like, it's not easy to do things your way because we're experiencing life with other individuals. But how beautiful would it be if every single human on this planet knew that they had their way and wasn't trying to tell or force, again, innocently,
Mm.
others that their way is the only way. We all understand that we have our own unique way and we have compassion and we're curious and we support not only everyone else's unique way, but our own unique way.
I had to write that down. That again, that's the clip you put at the beginning of the podcast. It's so good. What if I got to repeat that. What if everyone knew that they had their own way? That can sound so simple, but like that's another thing we teach in that 5th grade class.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the antidote for codependency, for enmeshment. Um, yeah, like we learn as a society, it's like I have to be like other to be safe. But it's like I can be, and this is the upgrade. Could I open to the possibility I could have my own way
Mhm.
and be loved at the same
Mhm.
time? And
Yeah.
this is that. It's like that's the quantum physics. I'm giving myself the love for my I'm exploring my own way through human design and other outlets and giving myself the love for that, loving, accepting myself, and then life will mirror that back to me. You know,
Yeah.
wow. Like just the fact that there is your own way
Yeah.
is so cool. And we can hold this duality of yes, I am one with source. This is my belief system too. Yes, I'm one with source. We're all this beautiful oneness, and we're also a unique individuation of the divine. We each have a
Mhm.
unique soul and a unique purpose and a unique energy. And this is a channel where we can get to see our uniqueness. And that's really cool because if you're one that struggles with, and this is where I was too, I don't know my purpose. I feel purposeless. I feel lost. I feel disconnected. um, I don't feel unique or special. I'm saying special in a divine way, that unique individuation of the divine. Well, this is an incredible, I don't feel seen or known or recognized.
Mhm.
You can
Mhm.
see yourself again. You can know yourself again. You can recognize yourself again. You can see your purpose. You can understand why you're here. You can matter on this path.
Mm.
You can come back into that balance of like your uniqueness with the oneness because I remember years ago I did this healing and I was way too, and we go through this on our healing journey. We go from one end of the spectrum to the other sometimes. I was just like me is one with God, right? It's no time, no space. I got no unique path. And the healers that I was working with at the time were like, that is not healthy at all,
Mm.
to be just that transcendent, that's masculine as well, that transcendent path. The feminine is embodiment, uniqueness, experience.
Yeah.
Um, so even just for me on like to me, the benefit of just that of like know thyself. Well, my God, this is a journey where one can know thyself and feel seen. Like for me too, even just as a generator, whenever we have these experiences, it's like it gives you a tangible energy or word or sentence of like, oh my God, I've been feeling that my whole life. I get it now. I get myself. This is
Mhm.
deep self intimacy. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and like if you desire something for a reason because you're meant to deserve it. So it's like allowing yourself to desire your dream life. Like how do you secretly wish you could live your day? How do you secretly wish, because we all kind of have
Yeah.
these like secret desires that we don't say out loud, we don't write it down or anything because we don't see a path forward or how or what. Um, and it's like before human design, it's trying to get from point A to point B without no directions.
That's it.
And then once you learn it, maybe you have the phone book back in
Yeah.
the day. And then once you feel it in your body, that is literally like a GPS, like integrated into your body of like
Yeah.
left, right, here, stop, don't go.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
And it's still a learning curve. Like I'll
Oh.
create stuff but like having this, it's like, oh my God, I wasn't fully enjoying that. Oh, that's why there were only a few signups and then, that maybe whatever, but like even Kayla and I, we could feel the title of our thing might need to shift. And so I'm like, oh, which one feels most joyful of the
Yeah.
titles that she sees? So we're like using it, and it really is like a continuing thing. And but it's, to me, it's like there's no failure in it. This is very 1-3 of me, but it's like
Yeah.
I'm learning what I can do better or different, or you know by following
I
my design.
This is such a funny example. I think I heard it on a podcast, but Jenna's always obviously like such an amazing teacher in human design. And she was talking about how she, even herself to this day, has to remind herself, okay,
Yeah.
she's a projector, wait for the invites. And there were a lot of like shoulds with her book launch that innocently the PR team or whatnot. And she sent she mailed a book to someone that she really
Oh.
wanted to have it, and it got returned back to her. The mailing address was wrong.
Wow.
Like, so, so funny, and that's I mean, I have so many examples of that in myself of I have to trust that I am being seen and
Yeah.
just wait for the invite.
Girl, and that is like our society. So one of my teachers, and I think I talked about her in our last video, and we'll link. Kayla and I had an amazing conversation, another human design conversation we'll link to below. But she spent a year, and she's asking us, inviting us into this practice, a year to practice or decondition herself from initiating, because that is what our innocently our society and our school system teaches.
Mhm.
Make all the cold calls and do all the DMs and send all the books. And maybe if that's in your type, but if you're not in your type, like talk about burnout. I was learning from teachers who were against my design, who weren't in my design, who were saying, get out there and do this. And I'm
Ah.
like feeling like an a-hole. And then once my generator teacher comes along, a part of our practice is to set an alarm for 20 minutes every day and physically lean back so that things can come to us and come into our aura. And I'm like, wow, that's like you're teaching me to set my alarm for 20 minutes to make more money, to lean back. Like, and I have to check myself too. I was at a party last night and I almost said something because I was having a conversation with a woman about meditating. And then I almost did some sort of initiating thing of like, come to my meditation class. And then I was like, no, like, let it is a year-long deconditioning of like let it come. But what's interesting to me, Kayla, it's so painful, and you know this, I had conversations with you. Like, for anyone watching this that's afraid things aren't going to come, they do, they do, they do, they do. And you might need to give it spaciousness, and you might need to have some courage, and you
Mhm.
might have to have conversations with friends or join support groups like this. But stuff comes, and it's conversations come, invitations come, and it's like you're like, wow, oh, I'm not just left hanging. And then we're up against all of our fear of being abandoned, fear nothing's going to show up, but it does.
Mhm.
It does.
Yeah, I think the practice of 20 minutes of sitting is really fascinating because that's when because I believe like a lot of what I say is like how you feel is the 50% missing in the corporate world. How
Mm,
employees feel at work is the 50% missing in their business growth strategies because
mm,
the feeling behind what you do is the frequency. And we want things, but we miss the like, how do we want to feel? Or how are we feeling in this present moment? It's like really paying attention to the 50%, the frequency beside the doing.
yes, the
Um,
feminine,
the feminine, yeah. I mean, that's
the
everything that
being
you
and the doing. Boop. Yeah.
yes. Yes, and I feel like even sometimes when we're meditating, there's a doing behind that even
Right.
still.
And it's painful. Like, you're just like, I'm like, oh, can I paint my nails during this 20 minutes?
Yes.
you know? No, geez, wow. You're a meditation teacher, Jamie. This is pretty bad. So,
Yeah.
but it is. We're just, But that's the human stuff where you're like, "Nope, I'm gonna do this anyway." And then when you see the benefits, it's really profound. And as a life experimenter, I do invite you guys, and I've been saying this for years before I even understood my human design. Like, you don't have to be reckless, you don't have to be crazy with this stuff, but just like, could you open your mind to a little curiosity to try this on for size and see what works for
Mhm.
you and see what doesn't? Because like us, you might be pleasantly surprised that this is a very tangible, real, beautiful um, blueprint that can really assist with efficiency, energy, um,
Yeah.
love, success, flow, ease.
Yeah. Like if you don't like emails, there are 10 plus ways I can think right now that you could communicate with in life
Yeah.
that aren't typing on an email. Like if you don't like water, but you need to be hydrated, is there like a powder that you could put into your water, a creative way to like
Yeah.
it's not forcing yourself or shaming yourself to do the things in the one way that you know that might not feel good.
Mhm.
And that's where like with work it just feels so tangible because I feel like work is an area that is so in a box, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But the universe doesn't compartmentalize. Like you can't be like aligned at work and then completely, you know, do it everything that like your sister wants you to do in her way and all the things. And it's like really
Yeah.
like when you honor yourself in all areas of life, it feeds all areas of life.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about this is like this rolls over into the big categories: relationships, work,
Oh, yeah.
health, body, finances, it really does. And I'm not always good at this, but I was even trying with responding when I was with my partner or friends. And I'm like, wait till something sparks your joy to say something. You don't have to be in the old people pleasing patterns of just talking or just filling the space. It's like I listen and then you see me doing it too. It's like I get excited and then I boom and then I get excited and then, you know, um, and that's relational.
Oh, yeah. I'm married to a projector, and we have our moments of not being invited, but sharing our opinions.
Oh, yeah.
But
But you have a
we've
go
gotten so
ahead.
much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have infinite do-overs. That's what I always like to say. Like I literally say
Love,
that aloud a lot. I catch myself doing something and I go, I'm going to do that over.
love that.
And
Love
then I
that.
do. I'm like, whatever. My partner's used to me being wild. Um, I would love, can we share a little bit about like if this resonated with people and you're
Mhm.
like, wow, and you are feeling joy and you are feeling instinct, like an instinctive yes towards this. Like Kayla and I created a really sacred, beautiful, practical space for
Mhm.
you to explore this, for you to see the value in doing it your way through human design. Um, I printed out a little bit about it, but is there anything you want to share about the experience to invite the interested resonant souls to join us?
Yes. So what I love about this is you will be given a voice recording
Mm,
of whatever we're covering, your energy type, your strategy, authority. You will be able to listen to it, have it digest, really kind of sink into it. You can even listen to other types if they're not yours. So it's a combination of access ahead of time. Um, and then really dedicated in-person time for questions or actual like Jamie's incredible at nervous system healing and balancing and play, but it's not rushed because
yeah.
if you only follow your strategy and authority in life with knowledge of your energy, it will bring you like 99% of the way. And I
Yeah.
find oftentimes people seek information and it feels safe and it feels inspiring to have all this information. And then they're
Mm,
like, "Okay, what now? Like, what do I do?" So we're not only going to support the education aspect of it, but even if you do know your energy type, strategy, and authority, and you want a supportive community to actually do it and feel it in your body and be like, "Was this right? Oh, I tried this and it
right.
didn't really work out." This is the space to do that.
Yeah, I love that. And we're meeting, so it's an 8-week container. We meet once a week on Zoom. Kayla and I are guiding for 90 minutes. We will have an opportunity to ask questions. It is going to be group. So, for me, I love that because I always trust that whoever's asking the question, the whole group's going to benefit too.
Yeah.
We have time for education. You're going to learn about each the first 2 weeks are the same topic, second two are the same topic, third two are the same topic. Like Kayla said, to really give you time to implement. And I know for me, I am a lifetime learner. I love learning. I love courses. And so my teacher does the same thing. She drips out the stuff and sometimes be like, I want to like get my hands on this. Tell me more.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I am so grateful she slowed me down to really let it integrate because you learn as the week goes on. And like we said, it's like, oh, shoot, not that way or that way. Um,
Mhm.
when we come together in group, it gives us that integration experience. And like Kayla said, this is a combination of learning, integrating, nervous system healing around it, and then creative embodiment practices like poetry or dance to give yourself a chance to process what you're learning.
Yeah.
Um, it's a joyful, safe space. We're going to gather in community and just really like learn and embody what it is to thrive in your human design. Is there anything else that I'm missing or
I think like the word courage, like hand
yeah,
holding you through taking courageous steps forward. I think I said this in our last video, but courage is the act of doing without proof. And a
yeah,
lot of human design is, but you may have proof. There may be expanders, Jamie or I or other people where we're sharing like, yes, I did do life differently and it worked out for me.
yeah.
Um, but oftentimes the courage needs to come within, and that's where we provide a lot of support in that area.
Yeah, and I love what you just said too about expanders. What I've learned energetically is just being in our presence, just being in
Mhm.
the presence of Kayla and Jamie, who are expanded in a new frequency. We have mirror neurons. This is science. You will just, it's like that. Seeing the proof of people who live that way and it benefiting them can assist your body and your energy in opening up. And so, even if you're one that's like, wow, this is a lot, which we're purposely not making it like that, even if you come to explore one thing and just be in our presence, it's so cool that energetically, reaching a little towards someone you want to live your life like them assists you in opening that up. I remember my teacher was like telling me, this is the new way. Just reading her book unlocks those codes, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. That's quantum. So just being in community can assist in up leveling you to the next level of your human design expansion too. So yeah, we would love to have you guys. We start soon. If you have questions, pop them in the comments.
Mhm.
Let us know how this was for you. If this supported you, or if you think anyone else could really be supported in living their own way and becoming autonomous and thriving and allowing in success in all the big areas of their life, please subscribe, like, share with your community too, because yeah, we really are passionate about supporting you with this.
Mhm. And just to like pump the tires of Jamie, like I met Jamie 4 years ago, 5 years ago, five
Yeah.
years ago, maybe even longer. And I was in a place, I met Jamie about a month within a month of finding human design. And I was
Mm,
at a place, not only nervous system wise, I was so anxious to even present my name
mm,
and say, "I'm Kayla," in our Reiki, meditation classes at the Den
yes.
meditation. And oh, I was at such a I love that place because you felt like you were rock bottom, but you only have up to go from that. And just being in the presence of you, Jamie, in the past 5+ years, I do feel that enhancement, energetic, like awareness, just all the things of like having the privilege of being in your presence.
Very kind. Thank you.
Of
And
course.
samesies, we do like we unlocked so much in each other. And I think I said this in the last call, but getting off the phone when we talk, I mean, friendship, yes, but I'm just talking human design too. Like when you're
Mhm.
in your power, it's like I'm tapped back in, I'm realigned, I'm plugged in. And she'll just say or tweak one thing. So if you guys seriously too love simplicity or just that one thing, like I literally leave before and after, whoa, I'm in my joy again. So it is a really beautiful co-creative medicinal environment to be in. So thank you. And
Hell yeah.
right back at you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. And yeah, we would love to have you guys. So we'll see you soon. Lots of love.
Come shine with me, align with me, authentically true. Bloom into you.